think I've been scammed? Welcome back, everyone. Today's a good day. Today is an astronomically good day. It's a milestone day because today is a Supra day. Yes, we're taking the first steps to put this thing back on the road. It's a Supra day. Let's get into this. Okay, so the Supra, well, it's been getting neglected a little bit and we need to do something about it. We can't have this thing just sitting around anymore. We need to get it back on the road, and there's two jobs to do that. Well, technically only one. There's one thing that this thing failed on its MOT that we have to fix, and that's the suspension. On the front and here at the rear, we've got some suspension problems. There is no problems on this side. It's only on the driver's side, both front and rear. And we've got our parts. We've had a big box of stuff arrive, all full of Supra goodies, and we're going to be putting it on this car, hopefully in this very video. For those of you who haven't seen the previous videos, this thing is a work in progress. It's not anything massively wrong with it, but there is 1,000 little things wrong with it that we need to fix. Suspension is the first big and main one because it's a blocker to getting this thing back out on the road. In that huge list of things to do, which you can watch in my previous video I'll put up here, well, we've got to do a few things first in a kind of sequential order to really get this thing on the road. For today, we're going to be focusing on suspension. We're also going to do the headlights, and that's a quick job, but that's necessary for MOT because if they're not clean, they won't pass. And at the same time, well, we've got a little problem on the passenger side window. Unfortunately, this passenger window, well, it's not working. The motor's blown. To begin, there's a couple of things I have to do first. I've got to move this thing over to that side, because it's going to be in a kind of locked position. Why? Because if something goes wrong, I need to be able to put this car away. I can't have this car sitting here. So we're going to move this into a more workable position, jack it up, and possibly leave it that way as we do all our work and put this one in overnight. But we'll have to wait and see how fast we get through it. The failure is only on this side. Only the driver's side had suspension failure. The other side didn't. So technically, I could get it MOT'd by just doing this side, but that doesn't make sense. I've got the suspension component sitting in that car right now for all four wheels. So we're going to do all four, which means moving the car around, jacking it up, undoing it. You'll get to see the whole lot as we do it. For any of you who are a little bit triggered by the filthy condition of this car at the moment, well, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to live with that. We're not going to clean it until we've got some of this work done because it's just going to get a lot worse. The reason it's filthy is because we've had it in and out of the garage here, well, to do work on the Stinger. The Stinger's still got a bit more work to go on it. If you aren't aware, the Stinger's another project and we're still nowhere near finished with that. We've got a heap to do on this thing just to make it look really cool. We're going because race car. We've got because race car suspension on this. We're going to be putting them on this, and this car is going to be a hell of a lot better. There is some adaptability required, but overall, it's going to immensely improve this car, and I can't wait to get started on it. So instead of spending huge amounts on factory control arms for this, you can buy race grade parts for this car, including control arms. And the control arms, well, they're a lot better. They're a hell of a lot better. They have more features and functionality than the original arms ever could. And to make things even better, they're much cheaper. Now, in order to repair the Supra, there is far more than just suspension work to do. Obviously, there is a ton of stuff, and I have a ton of parts that have been taken off and need to go back on the car in order to do, well, as close a restoration as we can. You'll see from my other videos what I mean by as close as possible. But in general, we've got a lot of stuff that's here that needs to go on there. Now, one part that we also need to do, it's not for the MOT, but it's kind of essential. If we don't do this, it's going to make it really hard. See, the window on that, the passenger window, is broken. It is not working because the motor is not working, and that's this one here. This is the original motor, and unfortunately, it's gone. It's shot. It does not work, and I need a replacement. Now, ordinarily, this is a big problem with the Supra because you have to buy everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. You see, behind here, we have a window motor, and we have a whole mechanism, including cables and frames and that sort of thing, that makes the window go up and down. Now, I only need the motor. That's it. But they won't sell me just the motor. And in order to get the motor, I've got to buy every damn bit of frame, every bit of cable, everything that's called the regulator just to get the motor. Now, in the Supra community, you will get told, if you ask it, there are no shared parts for the doors. It can't be done. There are no components anywhere in any other model that share the same bits that go inside the doors. And on the surface, that looks kind of true, but when you do a bit of investigation, a little bit of research, and your own due diligence, you'll find something quite amazing. These two motors have exactly the same voltage. They have exactly the same wiring. They have exactly the same fittings. They have exactly the same everything, with the exception of a tiny little bit of difference in the casing. And I mean extremely tiny. So this shared part here, this is indeed a shared part for this car, which everybody in the community will tell you is not, that you can't use it. But the fact is, well, I've got it and I'm going to use it. And this cost me the grand sum of £15. So the first two steps we need to take in getting this car back on the road is to put the passenger motor window in and cross our fingers nothing else goes wrong and that it just works. It should, but who knows with a car this old. So we're going to try that. At the same time, well, we've got to do the suspension. So we've got our suspension, because that is what's going to be a bit of a challenge. We have done it before on this car. Whilst we haven't replaced the components, we have had them off when we've been doing other suspension work. So hopefully it's not a challenge, but we're going to find out. Now, the catch is it going to take me a day or 4 days to do the suspension? Well, wait, watch and see, because at this point, I don't know. Okay, straight into it. Very first thing I'm doing is just cracking the wheel nuts off. Then I'm jacking it up using the standard jack, I'll explain shortly, and then I'm going to take off the wheel nuts fully. Now that the car is up at a suitable height, I should be able to get the trolley jack in under the subframe designated jack point, so that I can now fully jack up the car and take the wheel off and get a look at this. This is what we've got. We've got a strut, we've got a tie rod, and a lower control arm. You can see the condition here is really poor of some components, in particular the control arm. We'll get back to that shortly. You can see the rest of the components here, and I'm about to have a huge fight to get all of these off, because these are very badly seized, very badly rusted, and some of them, well, they just wouldn't go at all. So this was the next task, was getting some penetrating oil into the whole thing everywhere to make sure all of them would come off. Some wouldn't. There would be a few here which pose just epic problems, and you're going to see that later on. That's the pack carrier off, and now I'm attacking all of the others just to get all the various nuts and bolts out of the way. I think I've been scammed. I'm in the middle of my Supra refurbishment in the very first stage, where we're trying to change the lower front suspension control arms. And I've run into something really peculiar. I'm beginning to wonder if, very seriously, somebody stole parts off my car. That's not sarcasm. I'm not making that up. I know it seems funny, but yeah, I'm genuinely starting to wonder if somebody stole my original lower suspension control arms. Well, here's why. The reason I'm thinking that's a very real possibility here is because when you look at the lower suspension control arm on this car, the level of rust is outrageous. It's unbelievable. It looks like it's been in, well, the UK for 30 years. And the remainder of the car, everything else around it, is nowhere near that level of rust. Not one of the other components can really match it in terms of levels of rust. Now, we do have these aftermarket sway bars or anti-roll bars that are on it, and they have really started to deteriorate. They're aftermarket. They've not done as good a job as we want. We're going to swap them out, but even they, as bad as they are, they're not as bad as the control arms. Our upper control arm is barely rusted at all. Now, I know that a lower control arm, well, it carries the worst of it. But quite seriously, it's a major abnormality. You look at that lower control arm, it stands out like a sore thumb. It's so rusty, and nothing else around it is. Even the bolts for it, they're almost pristine. And that's a bit of a clue. It's almost as though these are not the original lower control arms. It's like somebody put on some really rubbish parts. And I've got a theory on that. You see, when I brought this car into the United Kingdom, I happen to know for a fact, in fact, I even have pictures that this thing was pristine underside. It was perfect. It was brilliant. It didn't have anywhere near the level of rust that it may have on it now from the UK. But the problem is the lower control arm, well, that's an excessively large amount of rust. Much more than this car could have accumulated in its time here. Due to circumstances when I first arrived, I couldn't work on this car here. I had to take it to 2 shops. Well, technically 3. One of them I have a bit of an issue with, and I think they might have stolen parts off this car. To be precise, I think they swapped out my good control arms and put on some rubbish of their own. What's the point of that? Why would you do that? Well, as you might have already seen, getting lower front control arms of this thing is very difficult. They're frankly almost rare, and they are worth a fortune. If you can get a good set of these, you can sell them on to anyone with similar platforms for a hell of a lot of money. Or if you've got a car that needs new ones and you rip someone else off, and that's my working theory, is that one of 2 places that I brought this car to whilst in the UK, they've pilfered my parts. So I'm working on the theory that that is not my original lower control arm, and that the reason that this is failing MOT is because some of these thieving actually took mine off, which would have passed, and put on this crap. And now I'm having to fix it by putting on, well, new parts. I do want to stress it is just a theory, and I'm sure as hell not going to name 2 possible places where this could have happened. There is one very standout place because, well, they were crap, and I would never take the car back there again. They weren't the place I would expect this to happen, but still, they're in the auto trade, and you never know, they might have just figured it out, or one of the mechanics just might have figured this out, what he was going to rip off on my car. This place also is fairly unassuming. You would not pick them to be like this. They're a fairly big, well-standing, well-reputed place. That's why I took the car there in the first place. But the people I met there, and the way they worked, it said to me scam written all over it, and I'm very sure now from the one time I've taken my car there, they've ripped me the off. Anyway, Round, I guess it doesn't matter for now. We have the wrong lower control arms. I can't prove anything. It would take years to go through court and civil action to do anything about it. The police would have no chance, so it's a waste of time pursuing that further. But it is interesting to know that you just can't trust people with your goddamn car anymore. Anyway, let's move on. From now, we got to get back to the plan. I've got to get back on getting this lower control arm off, hopefully on both fronts, and do the rear uppers, get this car ready. So I've ranted on enough. Let's get on with it. Let's get this thing done. Let's go. Okay, just a quick update. Where am I at with the front lower control arms? Well, right now, there is only one bolt in my way. And I can get the lower control arm out and put in our brand new ones, which I've lined up for fitment. They should go just fine. And cross our fingers, this is just gonna happen. But with our luck so far, who the hell knows what's gonna happen here? What has been a few seconds for you has been a couple of hours for me trying to get one of these. This is a deep socket for a 24mm bolt that I'm having trouble with under there, and hopefully this is the last piece to getting the front lower control arm off, and then the others can roll on after that. Now, if you're wondering why there's a second jack under the wheel disc, well, hear me out. It's not bearing any load at all. It's not there to jack the car up whatsoever. It's there so that I can get that hub assembly to just the right height. Because when it's sitting at its natural depth, as in no load on at all, not lifted, well then unfortunately, everything sort of locks up a little bit. I need to kick it up just a tiny little bit, just a little bit of pressure, and then it frees up the bolts around it, so things just slide out really easy. So it's worked. It's worked really well. In the battle of man versus car, today, the car won. It's been an epic battle, but I've lost. For now. It has been back and forth. This car has thrown everything at me to try and stop me changing this lower control arm. I've had rust problems, bolt problems, clip problems. I've had tool problems. I've had every problem you could imagine trying to get this damn thing apart. And there's still one I just can't get past yet. The one last part that I just can't win, well, unfortunately, it's very hard to show you. I'll have to show you in another clip. Here, if I can highlight it, it's the actual ball joint itself. It's where the ball joint taper actually connects into the steering knuckle. It is wedged in there, solid. I've tried every trick, the two-hammer trick. I've tried everything but a blowtorch at this point. So that may be where we're going next. But for now, we're going to keep on. It may just need persistence. Maybe I just need a bigger hammer, a bigger throw. Maybe I really need to just put the boot into this thing. Those parts are done after all, so if they get damaged, well, so be it. The lower control arm is literally just sitting on there. It is not bolted on whatsoever. It's literally being held on by rust. It is going to come off. It just doesn't know it yet. So hopefully in the next video, you're going to see that off, and hopefully we'll get the rest of the suspension done, and then we can move on. So unfortunately, in this video, the car has won. We didn't even get a single one of the suspension components on because it's just put up a fight. But it's not over. It's not finished. Tomorrow, whilst you're going to see a new video, tomorrow I'm going to be on smashing this thing apart. We will beat this thing. We will win. But for now, yeah, we're going to have to wind it up there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed any parts of it, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Definitely subscribe so you see the next video, round 2, man versus car, and I'm telling you, I'm going to win. This damn thing is not going to beat me. We will get this thing done. We are this close. We are so close, it's not funny. But for now, again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Simon out.